mistake number one, okay, and I kind of already touched it before, but busting your ass 3 weeks before the season to get in shape, okay? That's mistake number one. That is a sure way, and that's like what I'm talking about. Most guys do. They're like, there's 3 weeks. We got 3 weeks. I got my first game coming up in November. I haven't been doing anything, right? You're like looking at, you're like, ah, man, shoot, you put your pants on, you're like, oh man, it can't quite fit. And you're like, shoot, what am I gonna do? You're like, I'm gonna go, I see it all the time, people, referees, I'm gonna go train 7 days a week for the next 3 weeks. And then they go in and then I'm gonna be ready. And like they get to week 2 and they're like, my back hurts. Oh gosh, I'm so sore. Like I didn't really even see much change there. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. So don't do that. Okay, don't be that guy. Like, even if you haven't been doing anything right now, all right, and you're like, shoot, it's 3 weeks till the season, which is pretty close. It's about that anyway. Don't be that guy. Okay, that's a good way to hurt yourself. All right, you can still get better throughout the season with a smart 2-day-a-week training program. Because for one, you're going to be running some more anyway. So if your goal is to like get leaner, you're probably going to lean out a little bit. But what I absolutely like, what you should not think about, okay, in terms of your officiating, is, and I hear this a lot, okay, from referees, and they say, yeah, and they go, hey, why do you referee? And they say, well, because I get paid to exercise. Hold on a second. Hang on a second. Do the players say that? Not necessarily. Like, I'm just saying, guys, you should be thinking of your refereeing. This is my opinion. All right. You can disagree with me if you want. But I believe you should not be thinking about your officiating in terms of like, oh, just a way to like work out and get in shape. Like that's kind of, it sounds to me like you're not necessarily taking the game seriously, So if you want to be a great official, like that's an added bonus, right? You get to run around out there and be amongst the players, have the best seat in the house. But you should never say, oh yeah, I officiate because it's my workout program. So bonus training tips, off season. Focus on improving all 4 fundamental training principles. All right. What are the 4 fundamental training principles? Mobility, speed, strength, conditioning. Off season, go nuts, dude. Train 3 days a week. Focus on all 4 of these things, right? Follow a plan that works and focus on your real, like your big goals, your big, hairy, audacious goals, right? Focus on those in the off season. Okay. Not saying that you can't focus on that in the in season, but this is really where you're dialing it in, is in the off season leading up to the season, right? Because you want to come into the season feeling awesome, right? Like Olympic athletes train all year and then they take a little bit of a like 2-week break and then they get into the season and feeling awesome, right? So that's really how you should be training too, because your athletes, just like they are, your training program is going to look a little different because you're not pole vaulting or whatever. So, you're running and turning around, which is a terrible idea, but you got to do it. All right.